Okay.
All right, so my second question, this is dovetailing really nicely. So my question to you, this isn't me patting myself on the back or anything, but typically for Crimson Curtain, I will bring a song idea to Latney, and then we work on it together. So my question to you is, when Mingus brings you an idea, if it's a riff or an arpeggio or a full composition, how do you decide which instruments? Again, for those who don't know, haven't seen us play, Latney is a multi-instrumentalist, and he brings that to the table in Crimson Curtain. Typically keyboard, but he also plays bass and guitar with a number of effects and different things. So when Mingus brings you an idea, how do you know? Because I see the wheels turn, and almost instantaneously, you seem to know exactly which instrument to reach for that will complement what I have brought to the table. And I can't think of a time so far in the young life of the band, that you've had to change and said, oh, you know what? It wasn't bass for this song. It needs to be guitar, or it needs to be keyboard. You always seem to know right out of the gate. So how do you know that? What's your process?
I feel like I really should have some sort of impressive mystical answer. The first thing that happens when you bring me something new is stress. Because I say, oh my God, that sounds great, I'm going to ruin it. The second thing is, if you tell me, here's what I'm going for, okay, then I think to myself, like, okay, that one's low end, we want some bass. If it's noisy, or you want something noisy to complement, then I'm going to say guitar, because I'm a noisy guitar player. Otherwise, I'm going to automatically go to the keyboard. If you don't tell me specifically a sound you're going for, I just try to listen very closely to what you're doing and try to imagine what I can do that's going to complement it.
Okay.
Yeah, and by complement, sometimes I mean go right along with it. Sometimes I mean go in a different direction, but still ensure that the sound of what you've created is going to be amplified or expressed, maybe with a different color, as you mentioned earlier, but as beautifully as possible.
Excellent. All right. Well, you do a great job.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Now, my next question.
Yeah. How many questions did you have, by the way? Because I only had the two.
Okay, well,
then we're a little over 10 minutes now, so we might be pushing.
Maybe, okay, then this will be my next and last question. How did you decide? No. Scratch that question. This one's better. When all of your songs are instrumental, how do you decide on titles? Because your titles are not Opus 1, Opus 2, or Crimson Curtain theme song. Yeah. They're all verbally evocative of something, and they're not. Every one of them is an interesting title. The song playing on the PA right now is really loud. They're all very...
It's King Crimson, by the way.
Layla,
yeah, it's a King Crimson song with Adrian Ballou.
I should have known that, but for a moment I thought Ministry.
So a nice moment of synchronicity there.
Yeah. So the titles are always very evocative. There's never a common phrase in there. So how, when there aren't lyrics, do you say this is called this?
Yeah. Okay, so I guess to pick up where I left off from the previous question you asked me, again, it's about combining harmonic colors, rhythmic colors, metric colors, whatever, until something jumps out and something stands out, and then there's something that I can play with. There's a kernel, a motif, or something that you can spin a song from. So I guess it varies. Sometimes, though not that often, I don't typically sit, I would say less than a third of the time, I sit down with intention to say, I'm going to write a song to specifically embody and evoke this, thing X. I want to write a song about this experience or about this person in my life and my relationship with them or whatever. That happens sometimes, but more often than not, I usually, like the process I described earlier, that's more often the case. And I play until I find something. But I think that the reason that whatever that something is kind of jumps off the page, so to speak, for me is that it immediately it resonates with me in a way. It immediately strikes some kind of chord in me, and whatever that initial intuitive response is, that sort of informs what the song ends up being about. In my mind, like what it is conceptually, because again, as Latney mentioned, there are no lyrics, so. But it becomes obvious to me usually relatively quickly what this song is representing for me, and then that informs the rest of the composition and the rest of the arrangement to some extent. And then as far as song titles, I don't know. I try to stay away from anything that sounds too trite. There are times where I'll give a song a working title and change it later because I'm like, there's no way in the world I can have a song that's titled something so plain Jane, mundane. I just can't do it. So, but yeah, I try to come up with something that is unique without being, nothing obnoxious or over the top, but that is just, in my mind, a perfect summation of what the song is about. I think that if a person were to do a little bit of research, if they were curious, if they wanted to, if they did like a Google search for, a song title, they might find bits and pieces, in the search results that indicate to some extent what the song may be about. The other thing that's great too, and I enjoy this to an extent with literature and film and whatnot, I like a certain, sometimes ambiguity is nice. Like the song always means something to me, but sometimes it's kind of like, we'll just give this, little slightly cryptic title to it, which is relevant and it's representative, but let's see where the song is going to take its own life anyway. It's going to have its own existence out in the world, so you just kind of send it off with a little note in the bottle and then see where it goes, and how it's received on the other end is up to the universe. So yeah,
that's a great answer.
All right, excellent. All right, well, I think that's good. We're at about 15 minutes. Don't leave me hanging, dog.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm sorry. I'm looking over here like, and, are they ready for us?
We're on the balcony here on the second floor of the venue.
D23 Skidoo in Miami, and as the owner explained to us earlier that this is not intended to be a bar. It is a bar, but it was open and intended to be a music venue.
So it's only open, he said, when there's music to fill it. So
the place is open this evening because of us.
Yeah, and Instagram. So, all right, excellent. Well, I think that concludes our first of many, I think, self-interviews.
Yeah, it's good because I'm going to have a lot more questions now.
Yeah, same. All right. Well, if you watch this, thank you. If you want to check us out, we're on Instagram. It's _crimson_curtain. There's no reason for it to have the definite article, but it just felt like it needed to have that for the Instagram tag. But otherwise, we'll be playing around Tucson a number of times in the coming months. Take care.